mindset of a system that was created by a group of men way yonder, but it's still affecting us today. So our white brothers and sisters today have an obligation, you know, to help us change and work with us to help change these things, these negative things that's affecting us as a people, as black people and brown people here in America. Because all of us want money, all of us want a nice place to live, all of us want a car. So give us an opportunity to have that. When we look at West Fresno, the schools are just below grade level. So how can our children compete with a Clovis Unified School District, which is one of the top schools in the nation? Those children over there are going to be the police officers, the judges, the district attorneys, and all of that. Our children over here are going to be the ones that they're putting handcuffs on and all that type of stuff, because our education system is just dilapidated. So it's a conversation that fires me up.
And we thank you for that passion. And Dr. Jean Kennedy, before we go, I'm going to leave you with the last word, but I just want to say, you know, because as you all were talking, of course, my mind is going 100 miles per hour, and that's why I love talk radio so much, is because it plants seeds and it opens our minds and it causes us to think and say, you know, I'm going to go research that. You know, what are they talking about? 1921 Tulsa, Oklahoma. What are they talking about? Independent police auditor, you know, and those type of issues. But, you know, going back to the Kaepernick here, you know, I applaud him for donating his $60,000 for backpacks, for pledging to donate his $1 million, you know, to different organizations and things like that. But I'm hearing this rhetoric of, well, who is he to say anything? What has he done? Or what is he doing? And I just want to remind folks out there that, you know, if all you have is your voice, it's okay to speak up and to speak out about issues. Don't let people discourage you by saying, well, what are you doing? Or what is she doing? I mean, if all you're doing is taking care of yourself, if all you're doing is taking care of your family, you are doing something. So don't ever be discouraged and feel like, oh, I can't say anything because I'm not running an organization, or I'm not volunteering over here and over that. No, we all have a voice and we all have a position and a role to play in this community. So, Dr. Kennedy, you know, we know that you're traveling back to the East Coast. We want to wish you well, wish you safe travels. Where do we go from here? We just want to get your final thoughts.
Where do we go from here? We've got to keep the conversation going. You don't have to agree with everything we say, but at least open up the conversation. The conversations has to be opened up in our communities. They have to be opened up in our African American churches. They have to be opened up within our school environments, our learning environments. They have to be opened up at home in our living rooms. We must have this conversation. We cannot just sit back and say, oh, I don't mix politics with business. Our pastors have got to stop that. Pastors, you are a politician. So get over that. You're not just a preacher. You're a politician, because you have people that come to your church and you use your platforms to bring candidates in, and people have the right to vote for who they want. So you are a politician. And a matter of fact, it was politics that put Jesus on the cross. So if you follow in the same Jesus, if that's the religion you're in, then it was politics. You are a politician. So use your leadership wisely and allow your people to be educated about what's going on. Take the leadership role. And families, whether you are coming from the top or from the bottom or from the middle, it doesn't matter. What impacts one will impact all. We all have skin in this game. We all have a dog in this game. And so don't turn your nose up and think, oh, well, this doesn't affect me. It is affecting you because we are as strong as the weakest link. And so I challenge you here in Fresno that you have these conversations, that you come behind folks who are willing to speak out. If you don't have the voice, find the one who does. But for goodness sake, speak out, because an injustice to one is an injustice to all. It has been my pleasure being here this summer. It has been an interesting summer. And I'm going back to look and see what kinds of resources we're working with, because we're trying to create a pipeline from the South to the West Coast for many, many reasons. Economic reasons. There's only 9% African Americans that make up the state of California. My God, how in the world do you guys do anything here with 9%? So if we can help you in the South and find ways, you send your children out or your youth out to our HBCUs and they don't come back because we culturate them. Isn't that wonderful? But we have to find a way to begin to support each other and help each other. So I'm so pleased to be working with Reverend Harris and other groups around human rights and civil rights issues.
And just for our listeners, can you tell us where you're from? We hear your accent, and I know that people are curious.
Well, it's an accent, isn't it? So the accent is a Jamaican born. I was born in Jamaica, left Jamaica when I was a toddler, went to England, did all of my growing up there, my adults. I came to the United States as an adult. So that's a whole nother story. But that's why I challenge the international world to really have a voice, so that the voices, you have to have an in game and an out game. And so we're all one when it all comes to us. That's where that's from.
Thank you so much. And what a tremendous show here today. April has some last words regarding the importance of voting.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so it's that time again. Voting season is going to be November 8th. So if you haven't registered to vote, you can go to www.registertovote.ca.gov and register there so you can be able to vote November 8th.
Thank you, and thank everybody out there for tuning in to our perspective today right here on 103.3 The Voice. KOFP is the call letters. This is the voice of the people. We'll be here next Saturday noon with Reverend Harris, myself, Lady J, and April Slocum, and our special guest. So stay tuned right here for more in store, 103.3. And want to just remind everybody just to take care of yourselves. Throughout this discussion, it reminds me of the quote from James Baldwin: to be a Negro in this country is to be relatively conscious is to be enraged almost all of the time. So we have to remember to take care of ourselves and get that balance, that much needed balance, and find the love between ourselves and our community. So have a great rest of the weekend, everybody, and just wishing you peace and contentment of spirit. And we are out.
So it's Lady J and myself drinking.
Camera X.
Myself, Lady J.
You Lady J.
Camera.
Myself.
No, I
Yes,
didn't.
you did.
No, I
Yes,
didn't.
you did.